In the last lesson, we created the first iteration of a user model to represent users in our application. But we didn't really go much beyond the user model from the demo application in the second lesson. But in a real web application, you typically want to be able to authenticate users using a password to give them access to special protected pages. And that's the main data modeling task of this lesson. We're going to be using several of the ideas that we saw in the last lesson, including migrations and validations, and we'll also talk about virtual attributes, private methods, and a very useful technique called active record callbacks. You may recall that at the end of the last lesson, we created a stub page for the user profile. Let's take a look at that. There's not a whole lot here, but because this lesson will effectively complete the user model, we're going to be able to start on the actual user profile page. So let's take a look at the mock-up we had before. This is a mock-up of the profile page as it will eventually appear, more or less, with microposts and lots of useful information here in the sidebar. In this lesson, we're going to be making a page that looks like this. This is a good first cut. We'll have, in particular, pictures for each user with the user's name and then a first attempt at this sidebar. Now, I mentioned that the user model in this lesson will effectively be complete. We will be adding a couple more attributes later in this tutorial, but the user model that we'll make by the end of this lesson is industrial strength with fully encrypted passwords suitable for use in an industrial strength website.